Welcome to the Winning in Business podcast. I'm your host, Kelly Rissy, and I love talking to business professionals, leaders, and entrepreneurs who are winning in business. Are you ready to reach your next level of success? If so, join us on the Winning in Business podcast as I interview entrepreneurs, business professionals, and leaders who share how they've risen to success. Before we begin, go ahead, hit subscribe and the notification button so you'll be notified each time a new episode is released. Plug in and settle in. You're about to be inspired to rise up to your next level of success. Welcome back to Winning in Business. I am so excited today. My special guest is Carden. Anne is an interactive motivational speaker, strategic business coach consultant, 3-time author, and #1 best-selling author, CEO of Carden Inc., and current business owner of Carden Business Consulting Coaching Solutions and Expert in You Marketing and Media Agency. She is passionate about helping entrepreneurs, business owners, and professionals have greater success in their business and lives through strategic business growth, powerful marketing and sales strategies, and success principles. Anne's expertise is derived from more than 41 years in business, marketing, and sales success, 13 years in corporate business management, and over 30 years as an entrepreneur and business owner, building and selling 5 previous businesses. Anne has educated, influenced, and impacted hundreds of thousands of professionals through keynote speaking, podcasts, virtual stages, workshops, seminars, programs, coaching, and digital platforms. Anne has been featured on ABC, NBC, CW, and Fox, as well as many other online media outlets. Her articles have been published in multiple media sources, such as Small Business Trendsetters and Business Innovators magazine. Anne was also chosen by Six Figure Coach magazine as one of the top 125 business coaches in the world. She has recently been inducted into Who's Who in America for Entrepreneurship and Who's Who in America for Professional Women. So as you can see, we are going to have an amazing conversation today. Anne, thank you for being my guest today.
Kelly, it is my honor and my pleasure. I think you're fabulous, and I'm so excited to be on here with you.
Well, and I think the same thing about you. So, so much to talk about. I'm like, just reading your bio, where do we even dive in? So let's just start. There was so much about how many years you've been in business and you sold so many businesses. Let's just go from where did you start and what got you to where you are today?
Yeah. Do you want all the pain and blood, sweat, and tears along the way? You want me to talk about this?
Of course, because I think that's part of it. You know what I mean?
Yes. I love it. So after leaving my corporate career, as you had mentioned, I wanted to be a stay-at-home mom. We moved back to the Midwest from California, and I found myself, we were financially struggling. I left my income, right? And so there wasn't a lot of opportunity where we were living. And so I started looking for a way to make money. And the turning point was really when my son he was 4, needed shoes, and we didn't have the money. I mean, I could not squeeze another dime from my husband's paycheck. So that was a turning point. So I started looking for a way, started my first business. It started out, I was just going to make a little bit of extra money, but long story short, that turned into a global business that I did for 7 years. I employed many other moms as well. And I was basically running a manufacturing company out of my home.
Wow, okay.
Yeah, so that was my first. And then I went into the health and wellness field. After I sold that first one, I sold all of my designs and my patterns and everything that I was doing. And then I went into health and wellness, built 2 health clubs, 2 weight loss centers, and now in my coaching and consulting that I've been doing for 12 years. So that's that is my journey.
Yes. And so, as corporate, then you've sold multiple businesses. Now you're coaching and consulting. What strategies, what qualities, what mindsets, did you have to have along the way that were really most successful to get you from, point A to where you are now?
Oh my goodness. I love this question, but how much time do we have? Because There's so much. There's so much.
I feel like the more you share and the more people get value, they'll keep listening. So it'll be fine.
All right. So, the first thing that I would say is when I started my first business, I really wasn't looking at it as a business, right? I was just looking to make extra money. And I think a lot of people start their business that way, or they start their business like a job and they don't really think bigger. They don't have a bigger vision. It's like, I'm just going to make an income. I'm just going to make some extra money. And the one thing that I would say is really think about that, because do you want to do the same thing for 20 years? Where you are a one-man show, or you're doing everything, you're wearing all the hats. And what if you could build a business? The one thing I've learned, Kelly, is that when people are in business, they can build wealth. It's one of the only things where you have really, in my opinion, control to build your own wealth. And so when you think like that and you have that vision and you have that mindset from the very beginning, you'll take different steps, you'll do things differently. It just, all of your decisions will be different. So I would say that's the first thing, is really have a clear vision.
Yeah, I think that's something that, becomes, an entrepreneur specifically, there becomes a point when you're like, am I running my business like a business, or am I still running my business like a hobbyist? And you really have to look and analyze and figure out what you're doing. And clearly what you're saying is start it as a business. Yes. And then you'll get further faster, right?
Yes, absolutely. Have an intention set for what you want to do. And here's the other thing, we're in a very different world today from when I started my business, my first business, 32 years ago or whatever it was. And we have more opportunity today. I mean, Kelly, just an example, marketing, for example, if I want to test my marketing, I can throw it out on social media, and I can even ask people for their feedback and their opinion. And I could do that for free. In the old days, when I had to run $1,500 and $2,000 ads, there was no testing. It either did or it didn't, right? And so if it didn't, you had to sometimes wait 2 months before that next ad could come out again. For example, when my business went international and global, the first one, I was running in international magazines, and they were only published every 2 months. And so that's really how I was able to expand that business. And I had to wait 2 more months before I could make any shifts or any tweaks. And the problem with that is often I would even miss that deadline, because by the time the one magazine came out, they were already doing the next one. So sometimes it would be a 4-month cycle before you could change the ad and make the shifts. And it was always a guessing game, right? Mm-hmm. So, I mean, people have no idea what we have available to us today. And it just has changed the game. I mean, I'm trying to remember the numbers, but there are, oh my goodness, is it 1,000 new millionaires a day in the United States? I mean, that right there just shows you the opportunity, right? So I think one thing that I really want to share is that, money, a lot of people are like, well, I don't need to make $1 million. You don't need to, probably, but what impact would it make in your life, in the lives of other people, even in the lives of being able to impact more people with your help and with your service? So to me, that is a mindset that I don't feel serves people. I heard from my very first business coach. She said, if I'm going to work, I'm going to do the very best that I can. Like, if I'm going to do this anyway, why not crush it? And I thought, that's so true, right?
Yes, that's 100% true. So what I heard is that how important we all need to be using social media.
Well, LinkedIn, of course, yes.
Facebook, Instagram. Really, I think it's about finding where your target audience lives and really hanging out on there, right? And then using it, like you just said, just throwing stuff out. And if it doesn't land, you get that immediate response, which is fabulous. So I love that. And then third, just having that millionaire mindset.
Absolutely. Or beyond, even beyond. Yes. Absolutely. I think that those are all just really important pieces for people to be able to get more and to be more. And, we're not limited in the marketplace today. For example, when I was building health clubs, years ago, when I started my first one, I was limited to my local market, right?
Mhm.
So now I work with clients all over the world, and that is a very different opportunity for people. And there's so many different layers that you can have in your business that can actually open up that exposure. Even if you're a plumbing company, let me just say, a plumbing company, the owner, as they build their own success, now they could become a coach or a consultant, and they can now work with people all over the country, and they're not limited to their local area. So I think expanding really your mind around what is possible, and just looking, not playing small. I think that's just such an important factor in being able to rise above in business today and really standing out, because too many people they're just thinking about their next client or their next income, and they're not thinking bigger for what's really possible. So
that's fabulous. Excellent advice for everyone out there. So let's keep it real here for a minute. What challenges do you still face today? Clearly, you don't have the challenge that you did back when you were waiting 4 months to see if a strategy worked. But what challenges do you face today?
Yeah, I think the challenges today are very different in the fact that there's so much noise, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so you really have to, that's why vision is so important. Where do you want to go? And then what are the steps that you need to take to get there? And where are the gaps? And who do you need to get help from? We have that opportunity today as well. I didn't have a coach for many, many years building businesses. And my first coach was such a game changer for me. That's why I actually became one, because it impacted me so much. And I just saw the value. So we have so many options and so many opportunities today. And I think the biggest thing is really kind of filtering that and just, really, figuring out what are going to be the best strategies for where you're trying to go and what you're trying to do. So there's so much noise, right? But also those same challenges, Kelly, have helped me to become a lot better in what I do. So it's helped me to position myself different in the market so that I can stand out. All that competition. I mean, how many hundreds of thousands of coaches are there out there and consultants out there, right? There's so much competition, but that has also helped me become better in that area. And so the challenges today are really about getting above the noise and really drilling down and getting a process and a system that's going to help you reach your goals.
Yes.
I think that's one of the biggest.
Yes. And someone who works with you as my coach, that is something that you have 100% helped me really do, is just drill down, so that I can stand out. Because like you just said, there's a million coaches. And then another thing that immediately popped in my head as you were saying that is, and if you don't have a coach, why not? There's so many, everyone that has a coach is making great strides, whether it be in their life, in their health, in their business, everything. Right. And so, if you don't have a coach, you're kind of being left behind is what I'm going to say.
I'm actually glad that you said that, because I've been saying for many, many years in this industry, money buys speed. And so if you invest money, you're going to speed your success. And I have found that over and over again. And as you know, I still work with coaches. I still hire people who I see know something that I don't know, that I want to know, something that I can even teach my clients. And I feel like that needs to be a part of your business, and it needs to be a part of your investing back into your business, is investing back into yourself. And that often comes with hiring a coach. I see people, Kelly, that have been doing this for many, many years, and they're still not much further along because they're DIYers and they're trying to do everything themselves. And I just know, if I would have had me when I was building all of those businesses, I can't even imagine.
You know what, Anne, I think the same thing, as someone who really helps people just with a rapid reset on life and helping them decrease stress, get back time, all of those things. In my former career, I might still be there if I had a me. I'm glad I'm not still there because I'm doing what I absolutely love. And yet at the same time, if I had found someone to help me kind of do that big life reset, get my stress under control, I mean, who knows? You know what I'm saying? So I 100% agree. If you're a business person, you need a business coach. If you're a professional, you maybe need a life coach. Like it just, whatever kind of coaching that you need, they're there. And,
Yes.
I'll say right now on this podcast, you have two experts that are speaking today.
Absolutely, absolutely. And really, the thing is, it isn't really about just one coach. I mean, a lot of coaches, they have health coaches, they have life
Yeah.
coaches, they have, I mean, they have multiple coaches, but for different areas. Where people kind of go wrong sometimes is they hire two business coaches. That's a disaster.
Oh, yes. Right.
Okay. Or they hire, so you have to think about, okay, where are my weaknesses and where's the coach that can fill that gap for me? I think that's a really important thing for people to figure out, but you're not limited to one coach. Nobody's limiting
Right.
you, right?
Yeah.
You and I complement each other very well. And
Yes.
someone
Yes.
can work with both of us for sure.
Yeah, for sure. Yes. Excellent. So what are your goals for your business? I mean, you've done so much and clearly you are not done. So what are your goals for your business?
I'm getting ready to do another book. I think you know that already.
Yes.
I'm probably going to do my second Expert in You book. I have, I am a believer, and you know this, and I teach this about having a life that you absolutely love. And so you don't live in your business. And when you're first getting started, you do have to invest more time. It does take more to get it up and going. But as you start building a team or you start getting people to take things off of your plate, you get a lot more freedom back, right? And so I am all about having a life where I can travel. I don't want to work local. I can work with them local if they want to work virtually with me. Those are all really important things. And I think that's important too for people to really define that as well and kind of design their business around their life. But for me, really, I just want to keep doing what I'm doing. I want to keep growing until, I decide that I don't want to do this anymore. I will say at this stage in my game, because I've sold 5 other businesses, that isn't necessarily a goal of mine for the first time. It always was in my other businesses, but it's not in this one. I just love what I do and I love making an impact. I love the lifestyle it gives me. All of those pieces. So I just really at this point want to keep doing this and keep impacting people and helping people and, making a good living and a good life from it.
You mentioned you're writing another book. I'm curious, are you planning another luxury retreat?
Of course. I've already booked it. Actually, so we have another one coming up in May. So Kelly and I just got back from my Expert in You Business Accelerator Luxury Retreat. And so I do have another one coming up in May. And that's always to move people forward in their business and just have that intensive time with them. But they're also a total blast. And I pull out, I do not hold back financially from what I invest in those retreats. And I do those with my clients, but my clients get those, but also people can come to those and pay to come to those as well. But yes, Kelly, there's another one in May and there is another one in September for sure. And then depending on my business next year, I'll see if I need to, do any more than that. But for right now, I have 2 planned.
Yeah. One of the things I admire about you is that you really do go above and beyond for your clients. And, I'll speak to not only the time, your expertise, everything that you give your clients around the, business specifically, whatever their goals are in that, but as well as on these retreats, y'all. And first of all, we stay in amazing mansions. The last one was a celebrity mansion. She hires in chefs, like farm to table chefs that cook all of our amazing food. And we always do something exciting and adventurous. So one time it was horseback riding. The last time it was zip lining. So she always just adds something fun in. And, I will say that being in the environment of the clients that you have, seeing the synergy, the energy, the being able to mastermind with such high level people, it's a gift. It's a gift of those days of being able to be there and experience all of that. So I want to thank you for planning amazing retreats and the amount of time that you pour into us while you're there. It's incredible.
Well, thank you. I really feel like, first of all, I'm so appreciative of all my clients. They could go anywhere and get help. And they choose to work with me. You have chosen to work with me. And I don't take that for granted. And I also, and I want to kind of bring this up too. One of the reasons also I'm able to do that is because I'm not about a volume business. I'm not about taking on 1 million clients and not caring whether they get results. And so I want to teach my clients to be able to do the same thing so that they can really pour into their clients and give their clients what they need. And I really am about, first of all, I don't work with 1 million people. That's really important to me. Number one, I don't want to invest that kind of time into my business any longer, but it's important to me to be very high touch with my clients and to give them a great experience. And I want them to feel like they get everything they need from me. And if there's something that they don't have, or maybe there's someone I can partner with to be able to provide that, I want to do whatever I can to help them have success. That's important to me. If I can't do that, because Kelly, quite honestly, when I first started, I wasn't bringing in clients in the way that I am now, and I didn't love my business. It wasn't aligned with who I am as a person and how I love to serve my clients and all of that. And so when I made that shift, it was a big game changer. So I don't take that for granted. And I feel very blessed, and I want to appreciate my clients and show them, that I do appreciate them. So I'm glad that you love those experiences. And I want to make memories too, as well as pour into them. Something they'll never forget.
And for sure, because we did a lot of laughing.
Oh my goodness.
Something that you just said, it took me back to something you said earlier, and that was piecemealing, right? The do it yourself.
Oh, yes.
And I look at, even in the space that I'm in kind of this life coaching, health and wellness space, so many people, they're trying to better their lives by piecemealing stuff together. And then they purchase this and they purchase that, and then they don't do it. Right? Because, maybe they're buying it online and it's a program and they listen to the first 3 modules or whatever. Then they find something else and it goes by the wayside. And I see so many people doing that. And the piece that they're missing when they're not working directly with someone is that whole support and accountability and being able to work through challenges that come up along the way. You know what I mean? And having someone that sees all of you, right? All of your business, all of your life, whatever, coach that is. I think that's so important. And that doesn't happen when you're someone that's trying to do it yourself and just piecemeal stuff together. You just miss out. And then I feel like you said, right? Working with a coach, speed, money is speed.
Yes. Money,
and so then you're spending all this money anyway, and you're not getting anywhere instead of truly investing it in something that can take you somewhere.
Yeah, I'm really glad you brought that up, Kelly, because I think that's a big, big problem in the coaching industry today in particular, is that people are, to me, it's a very much a Band-Aid or a transaction approach. It's, it's like, okay, I'm going to sell you this 8-week thing and then go off. And I started building my business that way at the very beginning, because that's how I was taught. That's how I was taught when I came into this industry. And what I found is I never got to even utilize my skills because I wasn't with them long enough.
Right.
To really be able to help them build, a business. I mean, you can't do something. How much can you do in 8 weeks? Let's be real. Right. And so I felt really unfulfilled as a coach, but then I would watch them go off, and you've experienced the same thing. You watch those clients go off and now they're looking for the next thing. And then probably the next coach is undoing everything you just did with them. Right. And they're starting back over, and they're always starting back over because they are piecemealing. And so it was when I took a step back and said, what's wrong here? Why am I not loving this? Why am I not able to really work with these people all the way through? And it was really just the way my business was structured. And so at that point, I changed that, and I changed that with my clients, don't I?
Yes.
That was one of the things. It's like, let's get out of that. You have more to offer. People need you longer. Don't keep selling, don't sell cookie cutter. This is about you standing out and being an exceptional coach and really helping your people all along the way and letting them stay with you as long as they feel there's value there.
Mhm.
And there's not a lot of that in the industry, really, unless it's very cookie cutter.
I know you were talking about how some of your clients have stayed with you. What?
Years.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah.
Which again is a true testament to how you are winning in business for sure. So, how have you managed to keep balance in your life?
Ooh, I love this question, and I knew you were going to ask me. So, I wish I would have had a Kelly through many of my businesses. Let me just tell you, when I think about the hours and but here's something that I have learned, and I hear you say it all the time. There is no work-life balance, right? And I have found that as well. And here's what I will say: the pendulum swings in business and in life, right? There are times my life requires more. There are times my business requires more. And I think the real secret is for people to understand and to be aware of that. And I know that's one of the things that you really help people understand and discover, so that they have that awareness of, okay, maybe I need to go away with my husband for the weekend and spend some time,
Yes.
right? Or maybe I need to spend this extra time with my kids because, they haven't got this from me. I think so many people get so immersed. They either don't do enough activity in their business, and so it never really does much, or they get so immersed that they let everything else go. And so it's really important to be aware when
Yes.
things are swinging too far to the left or too far to the right, to kind of bring them back in. But I don't think you ever really have balance. It's just you learn through someone like you who has tools and resources, and even just that person that can see in to what's going on with you right now, and they have the answer. They can say, this is what's going on, and you're like, oh my gosh, why couldn't I see it? Right? We can't see our own junk.
Exactly. I was just going to say the
Valuable.
blind spots, right? Like you can see all of my
Absolutely.
blind spots in my business, just as I can see people's blind spots in their life. Yes,
Absolutely.
for sure. For sure.
Absolutely.
And I like to refer to it as work-life harmony, because I think
I love
harmony
that.
is so
Yes.
much better, because yes, some days you're going to need to spend a little bit more time at work, and some days you're going to spend more time with your family, and just that ebb and flow of it, for
Yes.
sure.
I love that. And, I think too, it's really important when you're talking about, I love the harmony thing. You can have it all. You truly can. I mean, I have great kids. I have great grandkids. I've been married. It will be 41 years. Is that right? 41. We've been together.
Congratulations.
In November. I have a thriving business. I get to travel. I get to do fun things. I'm going to Hawaii with my daughter in a couple of weeks for a vacation with her. To me, that is having it all. I have a strong faith. You can do that. You can, but you have to really learn. Or like I said, I wish I would have had you, Kelly, for so many years, because I wouldn't have had to probably go through the pain and the struggle that I did.
Yes.
Learning all of these things the hard way after 40 plus years, right?
Yes, that's what I think it is. It's like, we can all make it, we can all make it out of it, but could it be a lot easier?
Oh my gosh. Oh,
that's
why I'm
the
a coach.
thing.
I want to make it easy.
Exactly.
Please don't go through my journey.
Right, exactly.
I wouldn't wish that on anyone.
Yeah. So it's time to brag about yourself. So what's one cool accomplishment that you're really proud of?
Is this personal or business?
Oh, do one personal and one business.
Okay. Well, personally, I would say, I would just have to say my family. Just, I'm very proud of the fact that we've been married 41 years. And I mean, that's something, right? And I'm very proud of both of my kids, who have really created such success. But even my son, I look at him, I have triplet grandkids, and that are just turned 6 today. Actually, today's their birthday.
Yes.
Yeah. And I have another grandbaby on the way. And I even look at how successful he's been, but also the man he's become, his family. He's such a wonderful father and husband. And so I look at all of those things, and that feels like, okay, such an accomplishment.
Yes.
we just do our best, right?
Right.
But still I look at that, and that's something that just really excites me and lights me up and in my life. As far as my business, I would have to say, first of all, 20% of businesses are saleable, and I've sold 5. So I think that's really an accomplishment, that even though it was hard, it was not easy. That I'm still very proud of that.
Yeah.
And I also know how hard it was to do
Uh-huh.
that, but I'm very proud of that fact. That and resilience, one of the qualities you asked me about is, what's a quality, right? It's about resilience as well. And to not quit, but you've got to just figure out the solution, and you've got to keep moving forward and putting in the effort. So, yeah.
That's wonderful. And, even as you just said, it was hard selling, building the businesses and selling them. And yet you did it 5 times. Like
Yes.
you continued to go back and do that.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
definitely says something about you and your character. And I would say, like, your work ethic, like you mentioned earlier, your vision, like all of that goes into what you were able to accomplish.
Well, thank you. Yes. I mean, I do look back, and I do know that is an accomplishment, because I know what the statistics are. If I didn't know what the statistics were, I would think, okay, that's just what you do, right? But
Right.
I do know that it is not normal for people to be able to do that. And so, yeah, that is an accomplishment. But more than that, Kelly, I just look at all the experience and everything I got along the way. And, to me, that's just such a value that I now have, that make what I do now so enjoyable, because I
Yes.
have all of that. And a
Mhm.
lot of people are still learning, a lot of that stuff. So
Mhm.
getting off track just a little.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I feel like that's one of the reasons that I'm such a good coach in my field as well, is because all I went through, right? It's the journey
Yes,
that taught us everything that now we can be like, don't do what we do, or do
that's
what we
right.
did, right? Like, it just
Yes.
depends. If it works, follow it. If it didn't work, learn, and here's what I did instead. So I think it's fabulous. So for all of those listeners out there that are interested in an amazing business coach, how should they connect with you?
Well, thank you for asking. You can book a strategy call with me at acarden.com. And I think it's fair to say I've worked in over 50 different types of industries. So there's really almost not any I've worked with everything from roofing companies to plumbing to coaches and consultants. There's really not an industry probably that I haven't worked with someone in. And so if you're interested in getting help in your business, whether that's overcoming a challenge or an obstacle, or just taking it to brand new levels, you can book a call with me at acarden.com. And I do a free strategy call with you. And we look at your business and look at what you want, where you want to go. And then we can determine what the plan would be for that. So thank you.
Perfect. And then you can also connect with Anne on LinkedIn and Facebook, and I'll put all those links in the show notes. And stay tuned for her next Expert in You book, because the first one was fantastic. So I know the second one's going to be awesome also.
Now I feel the pressure. Now I have to try to get that done.
We did not put a release date out there, so it's okay, right?
That's good. That is good.
It'll be okay.
Kelly, thank you so much. And by the way, I just want to say, because, I work with Kelly and I coach her, I get to see the incredible person that she is, the incredible coach she is. I know her heart. I know what she has accomplished and been able to do for others. And she just has such a servant's heart. And oh my goodness, I shouldn't say if you are a high achiever, a high level professional, business owner, entrepreneur, don't try to do things on your own when it comes to your personal life, your stress. Kelly has just perfected what she does, and she's spectacular. I mean, I know the results she gets her clients, and I do the business stuff. I don't do what Kelly does, but you really need both. In most cases, you need someone that really can help you navigate your life and the stress, because Kelly ended up in the hospital. Kelly, I've coached other coaches that, were burnout coaches and people like that. And they all have similar stories, and people just don't even realize what they're doing to their body, to their health, when they are living in that, thinking it's going to get better, and it doesn't.
Yes. You
So
think it's going to get better. You think things will change. You think I'll be okay. Like, and then you also think, well, what other way is there to live? Right? Like it has to be this way. All of that goes through your mind.
That's just not true.
And then it affects your health. And then you learn, oh, there are other ways I can live and be successful.
I wish I would have had a Kelly really all through those years, because I just think so much stress and so many sleepless nights, and all of, business isn't easy anyway, but you need someone to help you navigate all that. And she has great tools and just insights. And so I highly recommend Kelly, and I cannot say enough good things about her. And she's just the most fantastic person inside, and she's gorgeous. You would have a gorgeous coach as well. So
you're so sweet, Anne. Thank you. Thank you, Anne. I appreciate all those kind words. Well, I definitely thank you for coming on today, taking your time to be a guest. And for those of you listening, please like, comment below, and share this podcast to someone that you think will find value in it as well. And we will see you next week on Winning in Business. Rise up and live. Thank you for being a part of the Winning in Business podcast. If you've enjoyed this episode and want to rise up to your next level of success, but are worried about increased stress, time for work and yourself and your family, not to mention being exhausted, I'd like to invite you to a complimentary strategy call where I'll show you how you can do it all. I'll help you reclaim time, keep your sanity, handle the chaos with ease, and move to the next level of success that you deserve and desire. I hope you found value in listening today. Please always leave your comments, feedback, or questions. We check them all. I want you to continue winning in business and reach your next level of success. See you next time.